Hello everyone. So today I am going to implement this feature. So when I do some changes for the settings, and if I try to go back, we are prompted with, do you want to apply the change settings? If I press no, we are just going to the back, which is the main menu. And here if I again do some changes, and if I press yes, the settings that I do here will be applied first, and then we will be redirected to the main menu. So you can see those change settings are there. And similarly, if I try to go to another option, the same prompt will appear saying, do you want to apply the changed settings? So it works in the same way. If I just press no, we are going to the other option, but the settings are not saved. So if I set this over to epic and try to go to the gameplay, and if I press yes, when I go back, the settings are changed and applied. So yeah, that's what I'm gonna work on today. This confirmation request to confirm, to prompt whether we want to save the changed settings. And this episode is sponsored by these generous patrons. Thank you for the support. Right, so now we have completed with the graphic settings. Everything works as we intend. All the options are there, and the other thing we have is here, after I do some changes and when I press back, it needs to check do you want to apply the changes. We need the confirmation if we haven't applied, so we need to implement that part. Right, so how do we do that? Let me open the options page. Okay, right, let's go to the code. So here, when we press the back button, all we do is we just go to the main menu without doing anything else. But here we need to do something else. Before that, we need to make sure that if we have applied the changed settings, or if we haven't, we need a confirmation dialog box that says, do you want to apply the settings, yes or no? Right, so how do we do that? We already implemented this requester widget. Yeah, actually you might have noticed that I have changed all the fonts to, instead of this cursive style, I'm gonna change it to the default font because it's more clear. Right, that's a small thing, that's a small thing. Right, so this is the window we are going to use. Now how do we detect if we have done any changes? Right, so for that, let's open the graphic options, and here we have implemented this options panel. So let me open it, and has changed. So basically this is I'm going to use this function to determine if I have made some changes that I haven't applied. Okay, has unapplied changes. That's more clear. And let's set the return type yes or no. Right, now let's implement it, the graphic options. So we should get it under interfaces and has unapplied changes. Right, so for this actually we need to check all the options. Here we don't have async, right? And then yeah, actually we access it here as well. Alright, from the game user settings we can get the currently applied options: foliage quality, anti-aliasing quality, get view distance, post processing, texture quality, shadow quality, and vsync. Then we can check if we have the similar values in these options. So let me copy these nodes in here. Right, then we can get selected level of anti-aliasing and we can compare it with this previous option. This node returns the current applied value, and this node returns the value that we have selected inside this anti-aliasing selection option line, which is one of these. Right, and this will return a boolean value. So we can do an AND operation. If all of them are true, all the options have the similar values, that means we don't have any unapplied changes. So yeah, let me convert this to a macro. Compare values. Right, now we can use the same macro for this all other options. Oh, this one is not a it's not a option line, this toggle line. So let's expand this, but still we can get selected level. Yeah, and we can select integer based on this return value. This true, that means 1, otherwise that means 0. Right, now we can have pins for all these outputs and just connect it. let's collapse this part to compare toggle. Right, now in the return this AND operation of all these things, if this is true, that means we don't have any unapplied changes. So our function is has unapplied changes. If this is true, if we don't have any unapplied changes, we should return false, otherwise it should return true. Okay. Right, now that we have implemented that function, let's go back to the options menu, and when we select press on button back, first we need to check on the selected button, do we have any unapplied changes. If not, we can just go to the main menu, otherwise we have to pop up a requester. So yeah, let me collapse this. This is how I select the currently active option page, whether it is graphics or display or audio or gameplay. Let me collapse this to a macro. Get active panel, option panel. Right, here we can check has unapplied changes. Right, let me collapse this because this part is going to be bigger. Back, and if the answer is no, that means false, we can just do this. Otherwise we have to get a requester, open up a requester and make sure that may have to confirm whether the player is going to apply or just discard. So how do I get a requester? I think I already implemented a function for that in the HUD. No, not in the widget HUD, in the survival HUD. Yeah, get requester. Yeah, this is the one. Okay, so get player character. We already have that. Get HUD, get player character, get HUD, and then get requester. Then do we have initialize? No. Set I think I have some function here to initialize this are you sure text, and yes, show requester. Okay, here we can set the text and we can append or bind events to define what should happen if I press yes or no. Okay. Now once we get the requester, let me put this below, bind event to dispatch no. So that means this event will define what happens when I press no button. So let's create custom event. Let's call it requester no. Then we need to define another event. We have to bind another event. Bind dispatch yes. So this event should define what happens if I press yes. Requester yes. Okay, so basically if I press no, all it needs to happen is just this one, go to the main menu, that's all. Otherwise if I press yes, what needs to happen is we need to apply the settings of whatever the current option panel. So here, get the current option panel, apply, call apply. Yeah, and that's it. Or we can, after applying, we can maybe go to the main menu, but I don't think we need to do that here. So after applying, then if player press back again, it will go to the main menu. Yeah, let's test now. Settings. Yeah, we are automatically in the graphics part, so let me make some changes and press back. Oh, nothing happened. Sorry, here I didn't call, even if I have the requester, I didn't call show requester. I have to call it. Do you want to apply the settings? Apply the changed settings. Right, let's see now. Let me make some changes, press back. Do you want to apply the changed settings? If I press no, I will just return to the main menu. Again, let me make some changes, press back. Do you want to apply the change settings? If I press yes, settings will be applied, and if I press back again, you can see I am returned to the main menu without having any other confirmation. But if you want, like if you press yes, apply the settings, and then you can return to whatever the page you intended without having to press back again. So all you have to do is here, yeah, connect this part. That's all. Now if I show you here, do you want to apply the settings? When we press yes, we will be returned to this main menu, but the options are applied already. See, let me change this to media and go back. See, medium is there. And to make sure if the settings are actually saved, we can go out of the game and see the settings are changed, and they are also saved into the system. Okay, and also when I press one of the other buttons, I think I need to have the same confirmation. So to do that, yeah, this is where I have defined what happens when I press these buttons. So using this open panel event, right? So this is the usual path it needs to take if we don't have any changes. So just like for the back button, now we have to make sure that we don't have any unapplied changes. Here, I think we can copy that part. Yeah, we can call has unapplied changes if yes, if no. Yeah, basically we have to do the same thing. Let me then copy this part. So open panel, let me collapse this because this part is going to be bigger. Right, get some space and paste. Okay, get the get the active panel and check if we have any unapplied settings. If no, all we have to do is just take the lower path which open the panel we want to open. And if yes, we have to basically do the same thing. So this is request no, but we need to have a different name for this. Requester no open panel. Right, so here what we need to do is just call this section. This one is I'll rename this requester yes open panel. Then there all we have to do is just apply and then call whatever the other part. Okay, now let's check. Here when I press any of these buttons we don't get any confirmation, but let me do some changes here and press another button. See, do you want to apply the change settings? If I press no, I just directed to the panel that I pressed, and when I go back you can see those change settings are not there, the original values are there. Let me change again. If I press again audio button, again we are prompted with this requester, and if I press yes, this settings should be applied. Hi epic, hi 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 hi, hi epic, hi hi hi. Right, it's working properly. Okay. Yeah, the same thing. Right, so yeah, I think with that we can stop this episode for today. So actually here more than implementing these simple logics to get and compare values, the most important part is we are using a same command requester window, and we are reusing it for different purposes, using this bind events, event dispatches, and so that is the most important part, I think, in this tutorial. Okay, so with that, I'd like to stop the episode, and if you like to support my work, you can get the membership of the Patreon Club. Link would be in the description below, and see you in another episode. Goodbye.